Right. So yeah, come up to standing. Stand so you're facing the long edge of your mat. By that I mean we're going to be going from left to right a little bit. So, or at least make sure there is some space by the side of you. So we'll bring our feet together and look down at your feet for a moment. A little detail, I was always taught that the outer edges of the feet should be parallel rather than the inner edges of the feet. So you might think you need to line up the inside of the foot, but it's actually sort of like train tracks with the outer edges. So just have a little look down, and if you need to adjust, sorry, I'm on a very creaky floorboard, so sorry for the sound effects. And we'll lift our toes, and then lower the toes. And you can lift them again and spread the toes like you're really waking up the feet. And then bring the toes down. And then we can experiment with a little bit of shifting of weight, a little bit of weight onto the ball of the foot and then back onto the heel. And you can move between those two and see, and then come to a point where that feels very, optimum standing. Because if you're back on your heels too much, it's a little bit rigid, I think, that sensation. But equally, if you're too far forward, maybe that feels like you haven't got stability. So finding some midway position. And the hands just down by the sides. We're going to turn the palms out. And as you do that, you could maybe gently squeeze your shoulder blades in. Spread the fingers and a big wide circle to bring your arms up and overhead. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and we're just going to gently pull that right wrist over to the left side, and you can press a little bit more firmly into your right foot so that you deepen that stretch into the right side. Breathe into the armpit, the ribs, the waist. And then come all the way up. And we'll go the other way. So taking your left wrist with your right hand and gently pulling over. Pressing a little bit more firmly into that left foot and see if you can go deeper into that stretch. And then come all the way up. And we just bring our hands all down. So take a big wide circle of the arms and down. Once again, up overhead. So turning the palms out. Really make the arms really active. Fingers spread. So we're going to slightly bend we're going to bend the right arm. I'll just come so you can see what that's going to look like. We're going to bend the right arm, and then we're going to reach for the right hand with the left arm. And we're going to grip quite firmly and pull that hand down so that we're really lengthening out around the shoulder, outer shoulder, up towards the elbow. And you can take a little side bend again. Left. So we're pressing into the right foot, bending to the left. Maybe you could lean your head back a little bit into that arm. And then coming all the way up. We'll release the hand. We'll go the other way. So we're going to bend that left arm. Reach for the left hand with the right hand. And we're bending to the right side this time. Press a little bit more firmly into that left foot. Breathe into the armpit, into the ribs, into the waist. All the way up. Release the hands. We're going to slowly bring them down. Really extend. You can even flex a little bit with the hands, so you feel more sort of stretch into the wrist area. Bring the hands down. Then turn the palms out. Slowly, smoothly bring them all the way up overhead. So we're going to go for, we've got the option of a stronger stretch here. We're bending the right arm, but this time if you want to, you can take your hand around the back and reach for the hand from the back, or just stay with that, holding the hand in front. So either hand behind or hand in front. Or the other option is you could use a belt, which is a good option. So you could hold that belt in the right hand, and then you reach for the belt with the left hand. Yeah, so sorry, I should have. Oh, mislaid my. Oh, see my belt now. I put it to one. I tried it away. Oh, don't know what I've done with it. It was here a minute ago. Yeah, so. Just pause and hold and breathe, and then maybe a little side bend. So we'd be moving to the left, press into the right foot. Back up, release the hands, bring them down to the sides, and one last time bringing them up nice and slow, really extending through the fingertips, spreading the palms all the way up and overhead. So this time it's the left arm that we're going to bend. So you've got options to hold the hand from the front or from behind or with the belt. Just trying to. Here's my belt. Yeah, so if you were using the belt, you just hold it in the left hand and you reach behind to grab it. And do a little bend to the right. Press into that left foot. Breathe into the left ribs, into the armpit, into the waist. Done. Come all the way up to standing. Releasing your hands. If you're using a belt, you can put it to one side. And we're going to take a wide stride. So really pressing into the outer edge of the foot. We're going to take our hands onto the waist, and we're really pulling the elbows back, quite exaggerated. So you're opening your chest quite a bit here. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards your spine. And lift your chest, but keep a good firm tone on the belly. And then we're going to come slowly forward, leading with the chest. So it's, and yeah, come to about midway and just hold that position for a moment. So you have to tone your belly a little bit to hold, to keep the stability. And we're going to release the right hand down to the floor. And we're going to really press down with that right hand and turn towards the left. And then maybe that left hand comes up. And you can really kind of let the heart, if it's, depends how arms are feeling, but if you can kind of lean back a little bit so that left arm swings right back behind you. And then take that left arm and wrap it around the waist. And can you use that bind to open the shoulder more? Are you okay, Jackie? Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Maybe look up. Your neck will allow it. And we're going to swap hands. So bring the left hand down. So we'll pause sort of halfway, so the right hand can just be on the waist, just give you a chance to slowly open up. And then lifting the arm when you feel comfortable to do that. Maybe letting that arm drift back, so you explore the range that you can find with that. Maybe turning your chest a bit more, pressing down into that left hand to turn the chest. And then take the arm, wrap it around the waist. And your gaze could move up to the ceiling. Yeah, if that feels appropriate. So release both hands down to the floor. We're going to move our hands all the way around to the right foot. And just sort of enjoy this if you can. So we're taking a sort of deep forward bend. So to make it a bit gentler, you can bend the knees a bit. Let the head drop. Hug your body down onto that leg. So bending the knees will make that more doable. And then we're going to move into a low lunge. So lift your left heel, rotate on the ball of the foot, turn your right foot to the short edge of the mat, and we're going to come up. Take it smoothly, slowly. Keep the back knee down for now. Bring your arms all the way up and overhead. So take hold of your left wrist, and you're going to gently pull that wrist over to the right side. So we're taking a side bend again. And also, as you do that, try pressing your left thigh forward. And then we're going to come back up, bring our hands all the way down, and step back into a downward dog. And then just hold that for a moment. You can just walk your feet a little bit. We're going to swing forward into a plank. So you probably want a slightly longer dog than normal. So step your feet back a little and then swing forward into your plank. If you're tired, bring the knees down. In fact, what we'll do a gentler plank. So we're going to bring the right knee down and keep the left leg really straight. Really press out through the heel of that left leg. Keep the abdominal tone. You can even slightly roll around your upper back a little. And then swap knees to bring the left knee down. And if this is easy for you, you can move in and out of that more swiftly, so you can kind of walk the feet, not have your knees down for quite so long. And if it's tough, then take more resting time. So we're just doing a little sort of walking plank almost. One knee down, the other knee down. And then bring both knees down. We're going to do a little chaturanga. So chaturanga, I know you all know this, but keep your elbows in, keep a strong abdominal tone. We're dropping the shoulders down. We don't have to go very low. We're holding it. Pausing, breathing. And then come all the way down. Squeeze your thighs and your feet together. And let's take a cobra. So it's a bit of not all cobras involve your thighs squeezed together, but we're going to go for that option. So we're really getting a sense of contracting back into the core, everything squeezing in, and then pressing into the hands, a little lifting the chest, the elbows tucked in. Come down, just pause for a moment, rest your head, relax everything for a moment. And we're going to push up into an upward dog. So, by the way, with upward dogs, technically, I think you always have your knees lifted. But if you ever feel your back twinging in upward dog, just keep bringing the knees down. I'm going to just pause here. So you are either knees lifted or knees down, depending on how strong you're feeling. Really, really lift the chest. Really pull the belly up and back. And then we're going to come all the way back to downward dog. And then three-legged dog. So we lift our right foot away behind us. And engage that left buttock to sort of squeeze the left buttock in to stabilize you in this. And then we're going to step forward with the right foot. Pausing for a moment. Flatten the left foot. We're taking a warrior two. We're going to swing that left arm, nice smooth circle coming up into warrior two. Press back into the left foot. Maybe if you're feeling like you've got power, then you could drop lower into that front leg and right knee. Maybe that right thigh could come parallel or closer to being parallel. Look over the fingers of the right hand. Torso upright, so not leaning forward too much. And then straighten up the right leg. I'm going to take a little Trikonasana triangle pose, but before we do that, take a backward triangle so we kind of open up and stretch that right arm up and away. Breathe into the right side, and then nice and smoothly come into your triangle. You don't have to go really low, you can come to the floor, but you don't have to. Take the left arm and bring it over the ear, and just pause there for a moment so you can get to lengthen out that left side. Press back into the left foot, little toe edge, and reach away with the left fingertips and see if you can really enjoy that stretch on that left. Reverse the circle of that top arm, so bring it all the way back, swing it in front of the body. We'll take a couple of those circles. You can bring a little bend into your knee and then come back up into your warrior two. Pausing there. Extending through the fingertips, broadening across the chest. I'm going to straighten up that right leg. I'm going to turn the toes back to towards the long edge of the mat. Hands back onto the hips. Really open up your chest again. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Elbows back. Shoulder blades together. Belly toned. And then come forward. And just pause halfway. Quite a lot of strength in that, holding that. Press into the little toe edge of the feet. Deep breaths. And then hands and come down to the floor. So you've got your hands underneath your shoulders. And just pause here. And if you feel like actually your body wants to go a bit lower and you want to come down onto your elbows or your forearms, then go for it. Otherwise, just stay in that position. We're going to walk our hands around to the left foot, left leg now. So we're taking that nice sort of
deep forward bend. So bend the knee as much as you need to bring the torso onto the leg. And hug that leg. Pause and rest and let your head drop. Let the weight of the head go. So we're going to move into a lunge. So we're going to turn the left foot to the little short edge of the mat, rotate on the back foot, bring the knee down, and come all the way up into your lunge. Come up. We're pressing the hip and the thigh forward, and we're going to hold the right wrist and lean over to the left side. So back, side bend again. Keep breathing. Come up. And we're going to release the hands down and step back into downward dog. Walk your feet a little. Actually, let's lift our heels really, really high, and then swing your heels to the right side and press more firmly into the left hand. So then you get more side stretch. Breathe into that left side, and then take your heels back to center and move them the other way. So move your heels over to the left and press more firmly into the right hand. Really enjoy that stretch on the right side. Heels back to center, and we're just going to take a long dog, so the feet can move back a little bit and swing forward into plank. So like on the other side, if you want to bring your knees down and just make it more gentle, then do that. But we're going to do the sort of one knee up, one knee down, but make that as challenging or as easy as you need. You know, you don't have to overdo it. If you want to go stronger, then of course you can. So when we bring one knee down, we're really going to work the other leg. We're really going to press out through the heel of the other leg. We're going to engage the abdominals. We're going to slightly round the back, the top of the back. Press down through the hands. Try and keep your head in alignment with the rest of the body. Swapping knees. Again, as strong as you need, as your body needs, or lesser if you need less. And then we take a chaturanga. So you've got the options of bringing the knees down for that, unless you're feeling really hardcore. So and just check the alignment. We want the elbows above the wrists, and the elbows aren't moving out to the side. They're more sort of nicely aligned, so that when the shoulders come forward, you've got like working towards a right angle with the arms. And hold it, and you don't have to come very low. It just be a small dip. Hold it and breathe. And I'm trembling, so you might be trembling too. And then slowly lower yourself all the way down. We're taking Cobra again. So for Cobra, squeeze your thighs, your feet together gently, not a manic sort of grip. Buttocks squeeze in. So we're working all the muscles of the posterior chain muscles, I think they're called. And then elbows above your wrists. Pick your shoulders up away from the floor. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your head. Maybe broaden across the collarbone. Stretch. Nice stretch across the throat. And then come down and just rest for a moment. Rest the head. Catch your breath. we're going to come back up into a upward dog. So if you want a gentler version, keep the knees down. If you want a stronger version, lift the knees. Really strong tone on the belly. Lift your chest, roll your shoulders back and down. Someone was describing that as like a waterfall, the top of the shoulders down the back. I don't know if that works for you, that image, but that kind of energetic. And then we're coming back to downward dog. When you're ready, pausing there, and walk your feet. So we're going to move into a warrior 2. So let's lift that left foot. We're taking 3-legged dog first of all. And then step that left foot forward. We flatten the right foot and we're leading with the right arm. Coming into sort of nice strong warrior arms. And you might want to widen your stride if you feel like you want to go lower. Then you can slide the back foot away. And if you don't want to, then you can straighten up the leg or bring the foot in. Just going to hold that for a few breaths. Looking over the middle finger of the left hand. Also, as I can see I'm kind of moving forward a bit with my torso, so that's, yeah, ideally you want nicely aligned above your hips, not falling forward. We take a Trikonasana, so straighten up your left leg. We'll lift the left arm as well, so you really lengthen through that left side. Down either onto the leg or lower. Sometimes you might go down to the floor. And then we're going to go for it on the right side. We're taking the arm over the ear. We're extended there. Over the ear, and then hold that. Really lengthen out through that right side. And we'll move the arm back so it comes back towards the hip. And we're going to take a couple of circles with that arm, build up a little bit of momentum, and find yourself back. Move yourself back up into warrior 2. Maybe go lower if you feel you want something deeper. So lower would be dropping the thigh off the left leg. So we're going to come up by straightening up that left leg. We're turning the toes back to center, and we're going to just shuffle the feet in back to Tadasana, mountain pose, Tadasana. And this is where belt might be useful. So we're doing a little experiment. So it's a dancer pose, I can't remember how to pronounce it. It's Natarajasana. So we'll start with the right foot. So, and by the way, if you feel like you're very wobbly tonight and you want to move towards a wall or get a chair or something, that's fine. Do that. Otherwise, it's just okay to wobble. You know, you don't have to be. You know, it's completely good and reasonable thing to do a bit of wobbling. So, but you do want to make the left leg really solid. So work on that now. Try and lighten the weight into the right leg and make that left leg super solid. So then lift your right knee. And we're going to, so the belt option is to make a loop with your belt. And you can loop it around the ankle of the right foot. and just pull that foot right up towards your buttock. Keep a bit of flexion in the foot. If you're not using the belt, then you're just holding the foot. I'll explain why I think the belt's good, or you'll see why I think the belt's quite good for this. Then now the right knee, really pointing the knee down, the kneecap down, pressing that foot up into the buttock. So then, if we're using the belt, this is what you could do. You could almost use the belt like it's a little rucksack, bring it over the shoulder, and kind of hoik, 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 hoik up the foot. And that's, just quite. I learned this little thing recently, and I found it quite good. So it just gives you, I don't know, it just makes it a little bit more doable, I think. But if you're not using the belt, then you're just pressing the foot into the hand, and you don't need to come very far forward. It's fine just to have a little movement. You okay, Jackie? Can you see me? Yeah. If you're feeling, because we did some work on the shoulders earlier, so if your shoulders are feeling, quite mobile, and you want to perhaps lift the belt or lift the arms so that you're holding the belt over your head, that's quite an interesting thing to do too. And you can really experiment with that. We did a bit of prep for the shoulders, so that looks good. That looks really good, Simon. Let's see everybody else. Sarah, that looks good. I quite enjoyed using the belt for this. I haven't done too much of that before. So. Coming out gently when you're ready. And don't worry if it feels impossible. Some days I find these things really hard. So it is very much, I think it's a bit cyclical how wobbly we are. So you can always have a chair or something and hold on to a chair, or just get closer to a wall. So we're going to do the other leg when you're ready. So we'll hold the belt. If you're using the belt, we're holding it in the left hand. We're going to lift the heel of the left foot. We're going to make that right leg super solid. And then when you're ready, lift that left foot. We're using the belt. You loop it around the ankle. And if you're not using the belt, same principle. We're just drawing the foot in towards the buttock and trying to keep the knee for now pressed down towards the floor. And then just when you're ready, and only if you're ready, you're sort of kicking the foot away. Just exploring how doable that feels. Tone on the belly is important. It's a back arch. You do want to. And feel free to come out of it, or not to necessarily go into a big extreme version of this. But if you like the option of the belt over the shoulders, then you can really press the foot into the belt, and it feels so much more manageable to do this. I like that option of the hands over the head as well. If you haven't got a belt, they are really good. And if you ever wanted one, I could order you good ones from Yoga Matters at a discount. But basically, you can improvise with lots of things. You don't necessarily need a yoga belt. So come out when you've had enough. And we'll just put the belt to one side and come back to your Tadasana. If you, we're going to go into extreme side angle, where we sometimes use a block. So if you feel that that's useful, this is the time to have your block, and we'll put it at the right edge of the mat.
And then let's come back to a wide stride. Hands onto the hips. Pull your elbows back behind you. Really squeeze your shoulder blades in towards the spine and drop your shoulders. Tone the belly. And then we're going to move forward again. So leading with the chest and pausing midway. So now bring your hands all the way to the floor. We're going to take our left hand and we're going to reach for the right leg. So if reaching for the right leg feels impossible, then just bring the feet a bit closer together. So we're not actually moving our torso too much here. We're just reaching with the hand. And then we're going to turn our chest towards that right leg. And then with your left hand, see if you can, with your right hand, see if you can reach back for the left leg. So you're kind of you're turning to the right, but you're reaching back for the left. Looking up underneath your right armpit. Maybe towards the ceiling. Does that make sense? It's a bizarre twist. I was playing with this the other day and I thought it was quite fun. So just things you can do to make it more manageable is bend the knees, step a bit closer, feet a bit closer. Really trying to turn to the right. And breathe. So with the twist, it's harder to breathe, but it's better to breathe. All the more useful reason why you need to breathe. You could use a belt as well if you're finding it hard to reach back that left leg, or just step the foot in a bit closer. So release your hands, bring them back to the floor, and then we're going to walk them round to the right. We're going to turn all the way towards that right foot and drop into a low lunge, but keep the back knee lifted. And then lift your hands. So they come up to sort of parallel with the floor. So we're having to work our core quite strong here. So we've got it's a low lunge, knee above the ankle, tone the belly, arms, we're kind of hovering a little bit here, and then very smoothly come up into your Anjaneyasana or crescent lunge. Really press that left hip, thigh forward. And then hands all the way down. Either side, foot step back to downward dog. Bring your knees down, drop down into Anahatasana. So the bum above the knees, the chest down to the floor. Pausing here. Look between your hands, spread your hands so they go wide, out to, as wide as the edge of the mat, and then we're sliding our chest forward. You can either come into cobra or down or upward dog. Depends how much of as you wish. Pressing up and back into downward dog. Lift your right foot, three-legged dog. And then stepping forward with that right foot, we're taking a warrior three. So the back foot flat. We're using the block. If you're going to use the block, we're going to have it on the outer edge of the foot, on the little toe edge. And then we're going to swing up with that left arm. Take our warrior two, peaceful warrior. So left arm back onto the thigh, right arm over there. So we're really opening up that right side again. And then we're coming down into the easier version of Parsvakonasana. Right knee, right hand on the right arm on the knee, pausing there. And from here, you've got the option of coming down onto the block if you're using a block. So coming all the way to the floor, or all the way to the floor if you wanted to. Reaching and turning the chest. Really deepen that stretch into the left side of the waist. Press into the little toe edge of the foot. And keep the head aligned. I noticed mine just drifted off. And then the challenge here is to come up, back into warrior. So we're going to swing that arm in front of the body and take ourselves back into warrior 2. Straighten up that right leg. Turn the toes back to center. Hands onto the hips. And we'll just pause for a moment here. Catch your breath. Elbows back. Really open the chest. Tone the belly. So whenever you get a chest opening, heart opening thing, you always want to have a little bit of tone on the belly, because otherwise you potential for pulling your back out, lower back. So that's like a girdle effect around the lower back. And then we're coming forward, pausing halfway. So, and then down to the floor. So we'll do that strange contortion, that twisty, wide-legged twisty thing on the other side. So we're going to take our left arm and reach for the, right arm and reach for the left leg. So last time, if you felt like you needed your feet close together, then maybe bring them in a little bit. So we're going to grip that leg quite firmly. You can come higher on the leg as well, and you can bend the knees. We're turning to the left and then reaching back towards the right. Oh, have we done that right? Somehow it's feeling harder on this side. You look up underneath your left armpit towards the ceiling if your neck will allow it, and otherwise just keep your gaze. You could have your gaze on the floor or out to the side. Release your hands back to the floor. And we're going to move round into a left lunge, or a lunge to the left. Keep that back knee lifted. So unless you feel like you're knackered, and then it's fine, bring it down. So we're going to then tone the belly, lift the arms. So they come up to parallel with the floor. Lift the back knee if you feel strong to do that. And then all the way up into your high lunge. If you want to go a bit stronger with that, you can straighten up the back knee, drop a bit lower in the front. Bring your hands all the way down either side of the foot, step back to downward dog. And then knees down, chest down to Anahatasana. And the Anahatasana is heart, it's like a heart opening pose. By the way, on the other side, I didn't give you the option, but the option is always there with this, to have your arms wider, bend your elbows. And then slide your chest forward. So you can either do cobra or upward dog, depends how your back's feeling. Maybe low is better if you're feeling a bit
tender in the lower back. Firm your buttocks, squeeze your thighs towards each other. And then all the way back to downward dog. We're lifting the left leg, so we're taking a three-legged dog. And stepping it forward. And I forgot to say, block would be, you're going to use it, would be on the outer edge of the foot. We're going to come up into warrior. So leading with the right arm, come back. Peaceful warrior, so right hand to the thigh, left. Drop lower if you stronger. Just got kicked out. Annoying. Hi Karen, sorry about that. I saw you disappeared. Back. Well, I'm afraid you missed a bit there, but we're on the left leg now. We're in peaceful warrior. Left leg forward, and then we'll take a gentler Parsvakonasana, so the left arm on the left knee and then the right arm up over the ear. From here, either stay here, or if you want to go stronger, drop that left hand to the outer edge of the foot, or to a block. Reaching away with the right fingertips, pressing down into the turning the chest. We've done all that side lengthening, so I'm hoping that your body is primed for this big, intense side stretch. Breathe. And then we're going to come up to warrior two. So I like to use the arm, build up a bit of momentum with that. And then pausing here. Look over the fingertips of the left hand. And straightening up the legs. Turn the toes back towards the long edge of your mat. Just walk the feet. And take a Tadasana. Rest here for a moment. So come back to that. At the beginning, we were like exploring the mid optimum position for weight, sending weight down through the feet. Not too far back onto the heels, not too far forward. So back to that. So even, steady, optimum ease and stability. Crown of the head's lifted. Connecting with your breath. We're going to come low into a squat now. Unless your knees are sore. If your knees are sore, you might want to just sit on your block instead. So just dropping it nice and smoothly low down. So all your hips, if your hips are sore, you could just sit on the floor or sit on a block. Our hands to the floor. I like this. I find this very earthy. So we did all those standing poses, loads of them tonight, balancing. So it's nice to come nice and low and let the weight of the body drop, the heels drop, the buttocks. You can even, let your belly relax and be a little bit more slack. And then the bum's coming all the way to the floor. Bend the left leg so it comes out in front. We're going to bend the right leg so it comes behind us. We're going to lean into the left hand and we're going to grab the
right foot and press it gently in towards the buttock. So it's like a prep for pigeon pose. And if you feel like you want a deeper stretch in that right thigh, you can pick up the knee and move it back. And now we'll move into pigeon with the left leg forward. So release that, or when you're ready, release that right foot. We're going to move towards the left side of the mat. So press down, hands down, and want to go right down low, then go for it. If you need to pad up, if your hips are sore, just pad up under the left buttock. And nice to drop the head or support it. So another couple of breaths here. If you love your pigeon and you could spend longer here, then you've got the option of just spending longer here. Otherwise, you're going to come up and you're going to take that right leg and bring it forward. So coming into Janu Sirsasana. So that's an option. If you prefer to be in pigeon for longer, that's fine. You can take that option instead. So we've got the right leg straight, the left leg bent, and we're just going to lower our body down over that right leg. Remember to enjoy the pose and adjust it if you need to, so it's not too harsh. Bend the knees if you need to. We're going to come up, and that right leg, we're going to bend it now, and we're going to come to, might need to shuffle back a bit slightly to be more towards the long edge of your mat. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. And you can hold the feet and just lower your body, open the feet. So we're going to come up. We're keeping the right foot forward. We'll move the left leg back. So we're coming back into that nice sort of, it's like a preparation for pigeon. Got the left leg bent. We're holding the left foot. We're leaning into the right hand, so you can slide that right hand away. And if you want stronger sensation, then you can lift that knee and move it back, so the left knee moves back behind you. And yeah, that's going to feel nice on the front of the thigh. Release the foot. When you're ready to Then we've moved pigeon, so we're turning towards the right, little edge, the short edge of the mat on the right side. Stretching. So, yeah, you know your pigeons, so just stay high or come low as you wish. Pad up if you need to under the right buttock. If you're coming low, support the head with your hands or so from this position, if you lower your pigeons, I know some of you are very fond of your pigeons, so if you prefer for you, if your body would just enjoy being here for a bit longer, then do that, stay there, or you can lift up a little bit, roll onto that right buttock, bring the left leg forward, lower yourself down into Janu Shirshasana, which is the wonky forward bend. So you've got right leg bent, left leg straight, coming down over the left leg. The right foot into the, pressing into the left thigh, or higher or lower. And when you're ready, you can slowly come up. And finishing with the feet back to feet pressed together, Baddha Konasana, which just means bound triangle. So you're holding the feet and the whole body drop down. It's nice if you can to lean in a little bit with your arms into the legs, so you can use the weight of your arms to help you go deeper. And if your arms feel like they're impossibly far from the legs, then one thing you could do is just move the feet a bit further away. That might make it easier. And slowly come up. So I thought we'd finish with, before Shavasana, with it's actually called Sukhi Randrasana. I didn't know the name of that until recently, but you know it as, I think, thread the needle. So normally we do that lying on our backs and we cross one leg. It's a bit like pigeon. It's another nice hip stretch where you put one leg across the right leg up across the left, right foot across the left knee. So that's the conventional way to do it, and you can stick with that option. But if you have a piece of furniture or a wall or something, a nice way to do this, you could do it against a sofa or a wall, or maybe a fairly solid bit of furniture, like I don't know, not a shelf probably, but you put your bum right up quite close towards the wall, and then you put one foot on the wall and you cross the other leg over that knee, and you've got the wall to press into. The bum can come in closer, and it feels really good. It just feels, I did this, I really enjoyed it as a different option. So that's just, yeah, if you've got something, yeah, you've got, that's it, that's good. Jackie, what you're doing. So the leg that you've got up on the wall, you could try lowering that. Well, you can experiment with it, but the instruction that I was given was to have it more parallel with the shin, parallel with the floor. But yeah, that's something to play around with. And what I liked about the option of it being against a wall was that I could let my hands drop back. In fact, I had my hands under my head. I thought that was really nice. So you've got the deep stretch, but there's the more relaxed upper body. So, but equally, it's fine to use your hands. You can roll a little bit if you're not using the wall. You can kind of roll your hips a little bit, and the knee that you have crossed over so if you've got whatever knee it is that you've got crossed over, try and press that knee away from you, away from your chest. If that makes sense, because then you're going to open more. Hopefully that makes sense. So move it away from your head, chest, and then you'll get a deeper release. And then when you're ready, well, actually, let's just take another couple of breaths here. It's nice to hold this. For me, I found I got more deep opening when I had the leg on the wall. I found that a very enjoyable way to do this. And if you're not able to do that now, I think to maybe practice when you get a chance. And when you're ready, we'll do the other side. So just gently release the legs. And the foot if you've got one foot on the wall, you can make that foot work a little bit, sort of pressing in a little bit. And meanwhile pressing the opposite knee away. It's slightly more dynamic than perhaps when we do it freely. Remember to breathe and enjoy it. When you're ready, you can come down and make your way into your Shavasana. So get whatever things you need. It's getting colder now, isn't it? So do get an extra layer if you think you're going to be cold. Support for the head, support for under the knees. Any other nice little support.
supportive, nurturing things such as a eye cushion, maybe a little bit of essential oil, socks. Changing the lighting if you've got very bright light, turn the light off. Just making it, yeah, just a little bit of ritual is quite nice, I think, around yoga sometimes, and your home practice especially. Just going to practice letting go. Quite a lot of strong movements. And now time to completely let go. Let your arms and legs be heavy, head and torso heavy. We're thinking, of course, thoughts do pop up, but not if you cannot engage. Nothing to do or prove. Ready, you can begin to bring some small movements back into the body. If you're not ready for that, then just stay as you are. It's dark. It's late. No rush to get back to life. Rolling onto your side when you're ready.
enjoy this moment. Just, yeah, curling up. Feel the lengthening of your lower back as you draw your knees up in towards your chest. Reconnecting with your breath, the ground beneath you. From here, just when you're ready, you can slowly come to sitting. So get comfortable just for a moment. You can got the option of either just having your hands, your regular position, or if you enjoy Yoni Mudra, I quite like this thumb, forefinger together, interlacing the other fingers. It's said to be one about your base chakra, your the more, I don't know, elemental, basic urges or aspect of our body, more primal, that's the word, and connecting to source. And that source, you could think of it as your an element within yourself, or the earth, or the mother nature, or deep breaths in, slow breath out. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Lifting, if you're, visualize maybe drawing that energy back up and bringing it in towards the heart, and you can bring your thumbs together and press them in towards the heart. Recentering, reconnecting. Thank you very much, everybody. Very nice to see you all. Hope you're all okay. Just pause the recording.